You come along, you load fine, you take some time. Almost rhyming. A good shine, I would say. Good shine indeed. Now, let's get this out of the way, because I'm feeling somewhat motivated. Because I made a mistake yesterday. Because the tech boy, kinda sat down and had a bit of a nice little bit of drink. And now I'm feeling dead. Feeling really dead. That is kind of what happens when you overdo it. It was not supposed to happen, so you're quite literally poisoning yourself, and your body's nice and kind enough to remind you that you did shit. So please, for the love of God, do not do it, is what it is trying to tell you. Alas, all of this nonsense done, let me start. We can actually get something done. A bit though, only. Oh, a nice little bit. Phew. Yeah, so yes. We're just going to take a nice little trip in this nice little village and doing some adventure things, and then that's, well, the end of the weekend once again. Nothing new to say yet, but since we're now here for goal, I should probably check out if there's anything I wanna. Right, first the border. Have many victims back then. I have nothing new to say, eh? That's good, because that means I can save myself the trouble of running around the first time. And instead we can go probably directly to the Elder, because that is where I'm assuming we need to go. I'd like to recommend the squeeze juice in a bar on the second floor if I could. Please give it a try if you like. You just did. Not much trying about it. Welcome. If you're here for a drink, I recommend that you try our various types of fruit wines. Our ingredients are the freshest and finest in all of Biber. Yeah, it sounds great. You don't mind me asking. This place wasn't around before, was it? Yeah, that's right. We just opened the place recently. Hope you'll come visit us often. What's the recommended item on your menu right now? Let's see. Pomegranate wine and the apricot tart set is delightful. Sure, we'll be investigating things first. And that's exactly what we're doing. Speaking of local residents, can you tell us some information as well? Don't need to be in such a hurry. I wonder if she's really serious about what she says. Who knows? But whenever it comes to her and alcohol, her credibility isn't that great. Well, kinda happens. Have a bite to eat, something to drink, and when you get tired, take a rest downstairs at the inn. Sounds like a very leisure life. I like it. Now I'd have to get more for my little recipe book, just so we can fill it up. Actually, I have an S-load of things in my inventory. Why is that? Hardly I forgot to eat all of them. Well, that's what happens sometimes. Look at my list and how long it has grown. Isn't this nice? There still is an lot more though. I think we're not even at half yet. Also, the vegetable sandwich is now a lot more down, so if you want to use the vegetable sandwich to make some money, probably not get too many recipes, I suppose. Because otherwise it's going to get pushed down. That's going to be, well, a bit of a pain to handle. If you're looking for Muspin, he's over in your card. Call for me, he ends up coming an hour later. By that time, this means already good. Well, he takes his job just that serious, I suppose. Jesus Christ, though, I'm feeling really dead. I've been growing fruit here ever since this village was alive with its mining industry. When it comes to growing delicious fruit, I have no equal in this village. I'm assuming you're the old man. Sniffle, nobody believes me. Wasn't it Rebeezer? Oh, little one. Who doesn't believe you? Again, children and their imagination, you know. Wishing to get out of the orchid business and start again as a merchant in Bose. There are still a number of problems hanging over the village, and if we can't find a way to resolve them, I just won't be able to leave this place with a clear conscience. That's why my wife and son have gone ahead to Bose without me. Moved to this village a number of years ago because I wanted to be an orchid farmer. I even purchased a new set of orbital farming equipment, which I've been studying how to use all my life. I'm going to grow and produce more fruit than anyone else. Always good to have dreams, I suppose. Husband Pesca is really dedicated to his research. He works by day in the orchard and researches various means of cultivation by night. Well, I mean, if you wanna become good at something, you kinda have to take it upon yourself to learn a lot and long. She visited the gravesite here in the village. A large tombstone is dedicated to the victims who died in the 100 Days War. 10 years ago, this village suffered greatly because of the fighting. Even today, I still see that horrific scene sometimes in my dreams. Stuff like that can stay with you quite a long while. And all what you read it. Maybe there's a new person around. Whenever an NPC is like, have you visited this and this place? It's kinda like, go there please, there is something there for you. Apparently, that is not the case now. The heat of flames, burning flesh, and the charred smell of blackened bones. Amidst the screams and cries of the villagers and their children, no matter how many years pass, the terrible events of the war remain ingrained in my mind. Speaking of the war, I saw a young man for the first time in years. He let me know he was coming, could have cleaned up the house for him. So you say, hello, elder. I see, you're all together. Yes, we're here again. What brings you all up here today? I'm here for a visit. No, not exactly. We're actually here on business. Though, if it's possible, I'd really like a glass of your fruit wine. Oh. Things in the world never go like you expect, do they? By the way, I never got a chance to ask you until now, but I don't happen to be one of Agatha's companions to you. Well, we're all members of the same guild. We're not companions exactly. You know him by face, and that's probably about it. I see. He's traveling by himself as usual. The village elder closed his eyes for a moment, and a look of sadness passed over his aged features. What's wrong, sir? There's nothing really. Please pardon my expression. Anyway, what brings you to this rural village of ours? That another dangerous monster showed up in the area. No, we are in the middle of investigation concerning the missing airliner. We came here because we heard there was a report of some kind of sighting. Ah, I see. The Royal Army came here and investigated it the other day. However, they searched around the area and ended up leaving empty-handed. Really? Is that so? Well, what about the person who saw the flying silhouette in the sky? One of the children in the village here, a boy named Louis. He apparently saw some suspicious shadows making its way across the sky on the night of the incident. But he's a kid any way you think about it, so may have just imagined the whole thing when he was half asleep. Imagined it, huh? I guess the best thing he can do is ask him directly. You're probably right about it. Thank you for your time, sir. Don't mention it. If there's anything else I can help you with, don't hesitate to ask. You should be in the village somewhere. Village dwellers are smart, so I'm sure you'll be able to find him without trouble. It does not appear like people have new walkie-talkie points. Let's test another one. Nope, nothing new. Nothing new. Oh, hey Louis. Oh, I haven't seen you guys around here before. Are you merchants here to buy fruit? Actually, no. We're here for a different reason. As a matter of fact, we're bracers. Bracers, you mean like I got it? No, you don't look all that strong to me. Especially cause you're a girl. Look, why don't you tell me how you really feel? Might have to see my great skill with stuff. Do you think you can still call me weak? Wow, that's amazing. It's like a tornado. Have you learned your lesson? That looks can be deceiving. Now, how about another amazing demonstration with my stuff? Estella, be careful. Not just yesterday that you hit yourself in the face doing that. Anyway, are you Louis by chance? Yeah. How do you know my name? We heard from the village elder. Said you saw some kind of flying shadow. Do you think you could tell us a little bit more about what you saw that night? Why? The soldiers from the army already searched the place and didn't find anything. That's fine. We're not worried about it. You think you could just tell us what you saw? In as much detail as you can remember. Okay, I'll try. You see, I like watching the stars at night. I often sneak out of my house at night, so I'll come here and look at the stars. The other night, when I was out here looking up the stars, I saw two shadows moving across the sky. Now, hold on a minute here. You say you saw two shadows? Yeah, that's right. They were different sizes too, kind of like a mom leading a kid. And two shadows, two sizes. Yeah, it's consistent with the airliner and the Sky Bandit airship, if you think about it. Yeah, the aircraft we ran across in the woods was definitively smaller than in a typical airliner. And the two shadows just kept on flying off, until I couldn't see them anymore. So, your thing is, there's a trail that continues behind the village. It leads to an old septium mine, which was abandoned some time ago. The soldiers from the army supposedly searched the trail, but didn't come up with anything. That's why they said I must have been daydreaming. And they laughed at me, like I didn't know what I was talking about. The little boy's eyes started to well up with tears. Yeah, I never did. You're a boy, right? Man, boys don't cry. Oh, we're not like those stupid soldiers. We don't think you're telling an lie either. And we're going to prove it. Really? Go on straight. You just leave it to us. No more crying, okay? Okay. You're a really nice person. Zero T. But I neck with the kids. Yeah, maybe it's a virtue. You look at me like that. It's nothing. Well, let's focus on the task at hand. It looks like we've got stuff to do. Right. Let's hurry and get onto the trail behind the village and see what we can find. Probably something, I'm assuming. Two shadows I saw flying in this. I went north until I couldn't see them anymore. No, I wasn't dreaming. Yeah. Ooh, we have new walkie-talkies. Ray and Pesca were at each other's throat again today. Ray's been growing fruit well before orchid cultivation spread throughout the village. It's thanks to him that we were able to re-establish actually, the village after the mine shut down. Maybe that's why he's not very flexible. Ray thinks that the only reason why I want to use machines is so that I can be lazy. He completely misunderstands me. I think we should use a number of cultivation technologies to improve the process. I think it's as my husband says, Ray just misunderstands us. I think we had a chance to really sit down and talk to him, he would understand where we're coming from. Then, if that is the case, why don't you just do that? Is the guy too stubborn or what? Those youngings' ways of cultivation are nothing less than crude. Thinking only about production instead of quality of taste. It's utterly deplorable in every sense of the word. And that's your problem. Old people do tend to be a bit, you know, set in their ways. They don't really like to change. I wonder if Louis is still off crying somewhere by himself. I know he told me he saw a shadow flying through the air the other night. Any normal person would think he mistook an animal for what he saw. Yeah, normal person. Look at me, I'm not somebody like this. Husband is as stiff as a board and stuck in his ways. In fact, he may just be stuck in his old ways until the day he dies. And it seems like recently my husband has had a difference of opinion with one of the young men in the village. So Orange is the wife of the old man down by the orchard, going like, yeah, I'm not gonna change my ways for those younglings. When it comes to the right season, people can come and experience picking fresh fruit from the trees. Did you hear that, Joshua? We can come here and pick fruit. Then come here again sometime, so we can gorge ourselves on all the good stuff around here. I should have figured you'd say something like that, Estelle. Anyway, I think it's a little early for that. Yeah, no, it's alright. It'll still be another several months before the fruit is ripe. Why do we have to go and say something like that? I got all excited for nothing. Well, let's all come back again when it's picking season. Okay. And when we don't have a job to do. Whatever you say is true. And you think it's the same thing about shopping in Bose. Well, it's good to dream big, you know? I wonder if I should increase the number of dishes that use fruit in them. I have to discuss it with Apple later. You people have a surprisingly fruity naming sense in this village. Look at this. This nice little woman here. She's called Apple. That old lady back in that hut was called Orange. And so on and so on. I mean, I've heard that you are what you eat or some such nonsense, but naming people after what you do, that's... So basically, this village is so creative, just like me. So in the past, when they were a mining village, they probably named themselves stuff like Pig and Rock. I think it's partly Louis' fault that people don't believe him. He first talked about seeing some suspicious silhouettes. He said he thought they were dragons. And dragons are creatures from ancient times, right? Saying something like that is not going to help people believe your story. How is that his fault, though? I think it's just like he says. Yet that when our fathers were children, there was a dragon still around here somewhere. I'd love to see a dragon for real, even if only just one time. Yeah, until it starts burning you alive, then that interest is going to wane rather fast. Yes, and you're too dead to be interested. Even young children were victims of the 100 Days War. So it pains me today when I think about it. Surprisingly enough, war, as in, you know, putting a village to the torch, for example, does not have any age restrictions on it. Which is a pretty damn obvious thing when you think about it. Yeah, rest the souls of 6 righteous people who lost their lives in the flames so far. Leif, Abel, Nicole, Wilhelm, Irina, and Misha, may you all find rest with the goddess. Ah, war. Such a nasty thing. The silhouette that Louis saw flying in the night sky. I wonder if it could be him. No, it couldn't be. And dickheads and anyone else saw him. Ah, you have an idea. Are you also thinking about dragons? The daily routine for me at Marsband, to pay our respects to the deceased. I don't ever want those who lost their lives during the war to feel that they have been forgotten. Because your story truly only ever ends when you are completely forgotten by everybody. I guess, since we have now done everything we can do, we shall now go. And once again do. Maybe I seem a bit out of it. I really should know better, but drinking with the tech boy. That is a fun thing. But honestly, for me personally, there's only 2 real modi here to work with. Either not drinking or drinking. I'm not good with the middle ground, sadly enough. Usually, you're a bit inhibited anyway. Your rationale is going to suffer a bit. So even though you do now, you quite agree that it's probably not a good idea to continue drinking. And this is precisely what you're going to do. But alas, all complaining in the world is not going to change that, and I had a whole day to feel horrible about that. So let's not feel bad about this. Actually, let me see the way. Yes. Mistakes were made. Like, the beer was tasty, but I have nothing left of it. That boy's like, yeah. Zipping on his vodka, going on like, this is tasty. And I was like, shit, no, I'm gonna drink some too. And then I remembered that I had some whiskey, and oh well. Taking strong alcohol in that state was probably not a wise idea. What have you in mind? Exactly what we're looking for. The gate is secured with a heavy chain and padlock. This looks like the entrance to the abandoned mine. Kind of reminds me of the Malga mine, except for the fact that it's all deserted. It seems that this place was abandoned quite some time ago. Padlock and chain are rusted. Doesn't look like the gate has been opened recently. It means that there's no possibility the sky bandits entered through here. And if that's why the army have investigated the place. Yeah, probably not going to find any clues searching around in an old mine, that's for sure. What's wrong, Mister? Maybe it's just me. Do you feel any air flowing out of here? You say, out of here? Do you mean the mine? Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Fisher wet the tip of the index finger with his tongue and held it out. You're right, Estelle. It's rather subtle, but there is air flowing out of here. Just like I thought, huh? Sometimes the sentence can be surprisingly short. You know that, you little furry animal. I wonder if you get that from your father. My dad doesn't have anything to do with it. Just forget about that. You wonder so much inside this old mine. There's certainly a possibility that it connects to somewhere. Probably worth checking out. Well, in that case, let's bust this lock off. Hey, don't you even think about doing that. For now, we'd better head back to the village and talk with the elder. Might have the key. Kind of fun, Jera. She is a lot more rational, though. This is technically speaking somebody's property, so don't just break it. Yes. Ah, gotcha in the back. Nope. And he misses. Of course he misses. I mean, the good thing is we too are rather highly leveled, so technically speaking we are not in any over dangerous situations by missing here and there, but it's a pain in the ass. Because it makes the combat longer. I guess it could be worse. But honestly, it was kinda interesting playing for that long in one condensed form like I did yesterday. I can kinda see myself repeating that in the future again. And then I'll probably not look at the watch, because as soon as I looked at the watch, like 10 hours have passed. Jesus Christ, I'm feeling my back. But I was distracted enough that I didn't even realize just how long it was, and then suddenly it was like, oof. Don't look at the watch, don't look at the clock, don't do it. I'm looking for my husband. Since it's this time of the day, I'm sure he's up at the grave side on the hill. Assuming people now have new things to say. Well, heard in another lace. You are really getting around, little one, aren't you? Oh, I showed it. But we're here on a job with the girl too. Yeah, actually, yeah. Seems like we're all bogged down with work, huh? One more thing showed that. The region has become really dangerous recently. Make sure to be careful. I mean, that Annalise and that Sting guy are really around. Everywhere, basically. Started this place with my childhood friend Apple. Of course, I was the one who invited her to join me in this venture. She's a bit of an introvert, so I wasn't sure she was up for it. She was surprisingly eager to give it a shot. Nice little success story. For the moment, at least. I know I'm a bit shy, but I love doing this job. We get people from all over with interesting stories about the world. Make me feel all warm and thingy inside just hearing them. Happy when someone who stayed here before comes back again. Yeah, that's good. If you do like what you're doing, that is very good. Hey, you guys, you find something out. Can't say for sure. But I don't think the thing you saw was a dream. Really. We're going to do a little more investigation. Please give us a bit longer to see what we come up with. Okay, good luck. Okay, we have brightened this little child's day already. Divine's new series now. It is the time for the woman to shine. Even Law's wife is the queen of the house. For heaven's sake, we even have a Majesty the Queen. I hear this from Louis, so don't get mad if I'm wrong, but aren't you guys from the Bracer Guild? That's awesome, so even girls can be bracers too, huh? Thought that you couldn't be a bracer, unless you were tough like a Gati. I mean, I guess it wouldn't really hurt to be tough, because it is a tough job. I had Mountstraw on the Bose market at one time. However, I feel more comfortable in my hometown. Unfortunately, this place is out of the way. Sometimes it's difficult to get projects in stock. I found memories of the times I had at the Bose Market. I learned a lot there. Hello, Orangi. I don't think my husband is wrong in his opinions, because the fact is, he grows the most delicious fruit in the entire village. That said, I don't think it would hurt to try accepting new ways of growing fruit. I mean, you know, at least give it a try before you bash it. Esk relies too much on those Orpman-run machines, and look what it's brought him. Fruit that tastes much less delicious than mine. Just don't know how I feel about shipping out something like that from Revenue Village. I kinda see where you're coming from. I get what Gray's trying to say, but I think that Pesca has the best idea. I think we should sit down and discuss this. It's really important to the whole village. If we don't take care of this problem now, it'll be left with bad aftertaste. Not be able to go to Bose. Maybe we should suggest to the village elder we sit down and talk about orchid cultivation policies. Not like I want to turn everything into mechanized cultivation to begin with. Orchid cultivation is difficult to do with machines anyway. Even if we use robot machines to help us out, a large portion of the work would still rely on things done by hand. And as it stands, we don't have enough people here in the village to do everything by hand. That's why I think we should use machines. I tried to speaking with Gray about this a number of times, but he stubbornly insists that I'm wrong without even looking into the facts. Old people do really can be a bit, just a bit, said the device. I really love raising fruit myself. I'm glad that I came along with my husband. It's been a while coming, but gradually we've been able to confide in the other villagers. Gray is someone we've never been able to get close to. I wouldn't say to get into an argument with someone you have to be at least somewhat close, otherwise you just wouldn't care now. Wouldn't you? He seems to be rather upset. I wonder what's wrong. Maybe the fact that everybody's like, you are lying. What are you dreaming? And generally speaking, just a child. Hello, Elder. Oh, this is where you are, Elder Raisin. Oh, it's your young bracers, is it? Well, that's a rather extravagant grave for a small village like this, isn't it? It was erected to mourn all those souls we lost 10 years ago. Since the Volza region is nearest to the Empire, it was in the thick of the fray. This village lost a number of good people in the hostilities. It's terrible. There's no need for you to get somebody who. These days cleaning this monument is just one of my daily routines. Yes, you wouldn't have come up here if you didn't think there was something I could help you with, right? Alright, there was something we wanted to talk to you about. Before that, you might have paid our respects as well. I know we don't have any flowers to give, but we'd at least like to offer up a prayer. Oh, I see. Oh, of course I don't mind. I'm sure all those looking down from above would be overjoyed by the gesture. Very good. They say there might be some clues in that old mine, huh? I know for certain that these soldiers didn't check inside. After I heard Louis' story, I really got me thinking. I'd like to check the place out just in case. Would you mind lending us the key to the entrance? The key for the padlock, huh? Give me a minute here. And old man Ryzen just gets up and goes like, oh, I'm sure I put it in this drawer. Alright, here it is. And honestly, the fact that she still remembers where that is actually speaking a lot about how organized he is. Okay, this should get you inside. Receive the bandit mine key. Wow, this key looks ancient. Many thanks, Elder Raisin. This will really help a lot. Don't mention it. Well, always indebted to the Bracer Guild for the help. Only natural that we would try and return the favor. Thank you. Everyone we dealt with were as cooperative as you. It would make our lives a lot easier. Well, we'll be sure to let you know if we find anything. I would appreciate it. Sure, Elder, we're going to get things done. I hope you managed to find what you're looking for in the mine. Please let me know. Find anything. Let's see. The mine wasn't used, the village enjoyed a period of economic growth. This place was so lively with miners and merchants, you could almost call it a small city instead of a town. However, following the war, this place became quite lonely. Well, times change. Not always for the better. At least it seems like no one, apart from those two, has new dialogue to offer. So we shall go back to the mine and go like, hello mine. Choop, 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 choop. Kinda because I knew that there would be a very short, very focused area coming. Is how and why I kind of decided to even do something at all, because otherwise I probably would have laid down again. Then again, spending the whole Sunday in bed is kinda a sad state of affairs. Honestly, wouldn't really feel right to use that as an excuse to not do something now, wouldn't it? Gate is secured with a heavy chain and padlock. Let's use the key we bought from the village elder. Use the abandoned mine key. Phew, that was one heavy gate. Let's have a look inside, shall we? One about sky bandits. You can definitely sense monsters in there. Everyone, stay alert. Ah, don't worry. We're pretty used to this. And all of those crab things. Wow, they're actually tough. At least physically speaking, they're tough. They don't give much in the way of XP, which is saddening. But they are, physically speaking, tough. And they can actually hurt us, which is rare at this point in time, honestly. Also makes the combat a lot longer than it actually needs to be. Yeah. And I need to make sure that we actually get our preemptive attacks off. Because otherwise, they will have a bit too much of an opportunity to actually attack me. Which I find rather... yes, not so nice. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my stomach is rebelling a bit. It is nicely reminding me that I would not ingest poison. Which is a very, very true statement, but doesn't really help at the moment. I can see that we are probably going to get to the other side because there's a monster there. And if there's a monster there, that means that you can most likely get there. Okay, since we don't have a map, okay, so this is basically just a round course, isn't it? I'm making a map in my head, you know, very, very classical. Basically from the entrance to the east, basically you have a loopy, little looping, so that means the way forward should be to the west. A very, very old thing that rarely anyone ever has to do nowadays, because, well, usually games provide maps or mini-maps for most of the areas. They make areas that are basically just straightforward, run a long line. Rarely do you make use of your imagination to make a map. I still remember games being completely annoying enough that you actually made physical maps by drawing. I can't remember that time. Sometimes. Very, very different. Considering how many of you are here, I would very much like it if, you know... And they can call for backup, yes, that is an annoying ability in combination. Tough to murder and the ability to call for backup. Yeah, no. And not the sort of situation you wanna fight with. Really, really not. Honestly, though, to be somewhat brutal, I'm actually not that unpleased with the fact that nowadays you don't need to sit down and actually make manual maps and stuff like that for games. Because quite honestly, it was a pain in the ass. I mean, yes, it could be fun sometimes, but generally speaking, pain in the ass is what it was. It's kind of like, how to explain this in concise manner. It's kind of like when people, and that is one argument I've heard quite often, are talking about the good old days of WoW. You know, good old World of Warcraft. Vanilla. I get it. I get where they're coming from. I get why they found it so charming. I found it very charming too myself back then. It doesn't mean that I want to go back to those times. Do you know how fucking nasty that's some of the missing things would be? I mean, you know, ease of life things are called like that for a reason. Man, it's bright in here. Yeah, isn't that the... Quite, is that? Looks like we hit the jackpot. Holy fucking shit. We actually hit the jackpot, didn't we? Hello airliner. Forget about the heavy things and focus on the food provisions and valuables. And hurry it up, will ya? Only a matter of time before someone finds this place. Got it, Kyle. Roger that, Kyle. Understood, Kyle. Okay, Kyle. I'm ashamed. I should have named this episode Kyle. What's an airliner doing in a place like this? I guess that kid wasn't seeing things after all. This looks like an area that used to be used for strip mining. Certainly turned out to be a great place to hide something of this size. Yeah, who would have thought to look here? Look at that. And they loading the airliner cargo into the wrong ship. Let's worry about it later. Hey, got to figure out a way to back these guys before they get away. Again. To be fair, yeah. This is a third trip, huh? Man, one can be a real slave driver sometimes. Oh well, this is all taken care of. We'll be able to sit back and negotiate a nice fat ransom. Hold it right there. Wunder. Scorching flames of justice shall never fade away as long as evil thrives in this world. Still is getting all dramatically about it. A league of extraordinary breezes has arrived. Everybody's like, huh? A league of what? You won't hit. Why do you always get carried away like this? What's with you two? I look like a big fool saying that stuff all alone. Yeah, once who Rosette had a run-in with back in Roland. Can't be right. You're not supposed to be here this early. Can't be right. You're not supposed to be here this early. What the heck are you talking about? In accordance with the law of the Brazier Guild, you're hereby under arrest and charged with the hijacking of an airliner and its passengers. Oh, for your sakes, you'll come along quietly. No. Hold on a minute. You're trying to tell me that only the three of you came here to arrest us. You see anyone else, bandit boy? They're not involved with the others then, huh? And that's simple physics. Let's get 'em, boys! And I think it is high time that we make use of this. Actually, do I want to make use of this? Yes, I kinda want to. Yes, we're gonna make this like this. Okay. New. Boom. And one is down for the count. We're counting one less. Yeah. And put another one down. And Joshua once again goes, oh, assassinate on that poor little fella. He's now going to feel very much miserable about himself. Yeah, and some good whipping to finish it off. I do like this. She's doing one hit and she's like, oh, this is fun. Rinse and repeat. For best effect. Ouch. No reason to toss bombs. Kyle has produced a bomb from some unknown place. Actually, you know what, since they've proven... oh, you know what, actually run away, because I want you to go out of the range of the bandit. Because otherwise we're going to get hit by that. Yeah, being blind is totally going to make it hard to hit somebody with your bomb throw. Yes, assuredly. That is precisely how it goes. Now he's once again throwing his bomb. Explosion is actually what's missing. Not the throw, mind you. I did love game logic sometimes. Like, yes, this is precisely how this would work. I will blind my enemy so that his explosion will miss me. Game logic. You have to love it. But he can't really do much more than throwing bombs, apparently. That is his one and only true skill. Producing a bomb from some unknown place, nobody knows where, and throwing it at people. I mean, it is a very, very specialized kind of skill, but alas. And we got a poison stone. Yes, better than I thought. It's no wonder you said had got beat by you 3. Street talk won't get you anywhere, buddy. It's time to surrender and let the passengers go. Haha, you really don't know anything, do you? Is that you called yourself a League of the Exceptionally Dim or something? Making fun of my awesome team name? You're dead. Look out! He still has a bomb. What is that? Gotta be kidding me. Another smoke screen. Bloody Kyle. Too bad about the rest of the cargo, but we'll just have to live without it. Later, bracers. What a cuntish move. Clearly a Kyle move. Oh, some of it got in my eyes. Don't worry, it's not poisonous. It looks like it was a typical smoke canister. The ship is already out of sight. And it's getting really old. It's not once, but twice now that they've gotten away. I get demoted for this at the guild. It's not much I can say in my defense. Oh, sure. Protecting like it was all your fault. We're responsible for letting them get away too. If we've got time to kick ourselves over this, then there's got to be some other constructive things we can do. Oh, well. Oh, you sound like you should be the senior bracer. Well, at least we were able to take back the airliner. So how about we have a look? Passengers might be inside. We don't have time to be looking around anywhere else. Right now, first priority should be investigating the airliner. Yes, but you know. Oh, come on. Tim's like, no, don't look around. There could be more treasure chests around. We wouldn't want you to find those. Hello, ship. So. Wow, it's pretty bare in here. Well, not a piece of cargo left. Evidently, the sky bandits managed to make off with it all. At least judging by the looks of things. At any rate, I should do a thorough investigation of the place. We should. There's a cargo left here. A lift car. Looks like the same type as those at the landing port. Skyban has probably used this to move the cargo. There is a cargo lift car. Yes. I wonder what this is. It's the orbital engine control panel. Looks like the flow of orbital energy has completely stopped. There's an orbital engine control panel. Orbital energy appears to have completely stopped. See. Looking in every corner to see if we can find something else we can interact with. After all, we are here to investigate. It looks like this is the captain's seat. These were any other circumstances. I would love to sit there. Don't even think about it. Oh, come on. Doesn't look like anyone's been in this chair for quite some time. Yeah, I mean, who's going to fly this thing? Here's the steering wheel used to pilot the ship. Wonder where the pilot could have gone. There's a steering wheel to control the rudders. I mean, yes. I wonder how this thing is actually supposed to be flying. A lounge kind of thing. It's bright in there. There's a lot of light shining into this place. Light is shining from the outside. Game's like, oh, I just wanted to make sure that you know that there's light. Okay, game, I understand. There is light. Actually get out on the... We checked it over. It looks like there's nobody inside. Hello there. Little Reen EUEF. Interesting name combination you've got there. There's a high possibility passengers were transferred to escape in the issue. Probably yes. I don't think they just would let them sit around. And then to wherever their hideout is. Agreed. This sucks. Right when I thought we had some clues. Back to zero. Come on, cheer up already. Ah, how are you? Well, I'm suffering somewhat for my indulgence, the alcoholic kind. But apart from that, I don't want to complain. Ultimate Emma fanboy. Ah, interesting. I'm a fan of Emma. Why not? And how about you, little one? Are you feeling well? Give me a second, I need something to drink. So just getting somewhat dry. Come on, cheer up already. Not like every clue here is completely vanished. Why do you think the sky bandits sit here in a place like this? As far as I can tell, the orbital energy in the ship is completely stopped. Which means the orbital engine was stripped from the aircraft. I know this because the orbital energy in an augment gradually recharges over time. Furthermore, the Sky Bandits made multiple trips to carry off a large amount of cargo. During the time and risk involved, I think it would have been more effective just to take the entire airliner to the hideout. Yeah, I seen it a lot that they didn't. Why they hide the airliner here then? That's a good question actually. All I can think of is that they did it in order to I'm going crazy waiting for Hachimari no Kiseki, Kuro no Kiseki. So hope the Steam Deck is good so I can buy the Japanese version of Steam and download the fan pages. People do kinda get somewhat impatient. Especially with those long waiting times, I understand that. Very, very well, so much. Download the fan patches. Are the fan patches actually still around? I think I heard from somebody else that ever since the translation has become official, they have kind of disappeared. And again, nothing on the internet actually completely disappears, so. But yeah, it's a long wait time. It's mostly as depressing as when you originally started playing Cold Steel, and that was some waiting time. Oh boy. Move to watch about the aircraft. Nah, wouldn't have to hide this here. Steal the orbital engine. Pretty damn nonsensical reasoning there. Keep clear. No, if they wanted to keep clear, just using their hidden hideout would probably be better. Ditch the Linde. Honestly, that's the only thing that makes sense. They did it to ditch it, because they don't want to keep that thing around. I don't know about their hideout being weird, but I know about ditching the Linde. That is a reasonable argument to be made here. Up. Yes, that's exactly right. For my guess, I would imagine that the hideout is in a slightly peculiar place. Maybe 10 to 15 RG in size. A fan translation for Jimari and Kuro comes out this month. A fan translating team for Jimari returns. I see. Well, that is a reasonable... a very reasonable time frame then, at least. A lot better than some of the others. But alas. At least in this case we're not gonna end up with disappointment, I suppose. Which is a lot better than what, to give you another example of my own favorites, would be Baldur's Gate. That final part coming out was, well, disappointing to put it mildly, but let us not rant about that, that could take a long. We 10 to 15 RG in size. Shot a peculiar place on which only a small aircraft like the Sky Bandit airship could land. Interesting. How about terrain covered with extreme differences in height, like mountains and ravines? It seems like a likely place for the Sky Bandit's hideout. It would be a likely place for anyone's hideout actually, because it's naturally hidden away. Yes, that's what I've been thinking too. However, if that is the case, we won't be unable to do anything else. There's the possibility that their hideout may be in a place we can't reach by foot. Then, what can we do? Well, I hate to say it, but we may have to share our conclusions with the army. Ask for their cooperation. Because they're the ones with the patrol ships. What? Yeah. The favorite character, where? This one or Cold Steel? Two very different sets of characters. They try to tell us we should go crawling back to the army, ask them for help. Anyway, we still have to report to them about the airliner. Which is true, we can't really in good conscience let them run around. Personally speaking, I still think we should cooperate with the army. Whatever the attitude may be. Especially if that means bringing the hostages back safe and sound. Solid argument there, Joshua. I guess you're right. Isn't the time or place to be letting my personal feelings get the best of me. For the time being, let's get back to the guild and report our findings to Lugran. Should be able to contact Harken Gate if we use the orbital telephone. So far, so good. We have a plan. It's always good to have a plan. But yes, favorite character. Honestly, if you're just talking trails, the sky, I do like his style. I have a bit of a soft spot for that. Slightly energetic, maybe a bit too energetic kind. That's like it's like a puppy, you know. Aside from Breen, Dilemma, like Crow and Altina. Altina is kind of interesting, yeah. I'll give you that much. Breen, yeah, I mean, he's your very classical, very good protagonist. Yeah, I think Altina, we can agree on that one. That is something I can also go like. Crow is just Crow, basically. I do like him for the simple fact that his second name is just, you know, crossbow. Quite literally. Armbrust. It's the German word for crossbow. Which, yeah. Funny guy. That too. So, secondary choices there. I will agree on those. Those are, well, close. Huh? Oh shit, alright. They're kind of surrounded, aren't we? What the heck? Great. Now this was something I did not expect. Yeah. I wonder if you should be glad that Hecht has the trouble of having to contact them. Alicia and Cedric. Honestly, I don't really have much of a least favorite one. And I have too little in the way of negative notation to any of them. I mean, it's a bit like, you know, when you start up playing, then there's what's his name? My memory for names sometimes. Patrick, right. He is made out to be someone you can very easily dislike, and then that turns around, because that is how these games are set up, which is nice. We have found a suspicious armed group. Put your hands in the air, all of you. So welcome to you. A woman and two kids are the Sky Bandits. The little girl does look shifty. Hey no, that's just rude. So we are calling Sky Bandits. Can't you see this shiny emblem on my chest? The brace emblem, huh? But don't think for a moment something like that proves your innocence. Why not? General Morgan. So we meet again. Why are you here? After looking over the reports of a man, I found this place to have been insufficiently investigated, so I came to see for myself. Who would have thought that a lot of you were conspiring with the Sky Bandits? Yeah, no. Might I get you to stop with the accusations, General? You happen to find this place one step ahead of your man. That's the truth, and why don't you tell me where the Sky Bandits are? The hostage is inside the airliner. We almost had the Sky Bandits, but they managed to escape. There are no hostages to be found here. Looks like the truth has come out. Most likely, you notified the Sky Bandits to let them know we were coming. But wait a minute here. How would you get the crap? My thoughts exactly. He really is a bit of a hard-ass military man, isn't he? Alright man, take them into custody. Yeah, Cedric is a pretty obvious choice, but still, you know, yeah. There isn't head on the poor fucker. Basically. At least not more than, you know, is part of the game itself. Lisa, yeah, I wouldn't go that far. And again, you know, romance in relationships in general in games usually tend to be somewhat shallow, comparatively speaking. Mostly because most makers, game developers, are really sucky at making good, believable relationships. So, you know, it's not really saying much. Apart from that, yeah, was okay-ish. Let's see, nothing I would write home about, but then again also nothing I would complain about all night long. More or less on that level, you know. Yes, take us into custody, that is a good idea. And make the whole process a lot more annoying. Well, will you look at that? General will be questioning you himself on the morrow. it would still be the case, but then again, you know, if you change the writing just slightly, you can potentially remove a lot of people, even if you would have to potentially rewrite it a bit. Some characters have actually the problem that they're, generally speaking, rather loosely involved. Yeah, but you know. In this one case, you're right, though. If memory serves. And again, I played a lot more of this Trails in the Sky in comparison to Cold Steel, so maybe I'm not even too sure that I remember at all that much about that. I remember that, but not much more. I would have to actually look that up for the moment, but sure not. Sure enjoy the last bit of playtime I have. If your innocence is proven, and you will be released in 2 or 3 days. Jesus Christ. His future is a dominion. Should have, yes, somewhat. Would be nice. I also did feel the Highlands in general were an interesting thing. From the start, very different, comparatively speaking, to what we had before, which is good. But then again, you know, it's an afterthought. You can probably make a lot more out of that too, yeah. Could have, though, you know. It's at the end all just very small complaints, comparatively speaking. Games itself are pretty fucking solid, I'd say. Yeah, so the planning itself will give you a place to cool your heels. Nice. Also, I would like to get my weapons back. So, this is not even funny. Passing us in a place like this without even listening to a word we have to say. If the army managed to arrest the Sky Bandits, then I'm sure we'd have our names cleared. But the way things are at the moment, might not be possible. Yeah, why not? Remember what the Sky Bandit leader before in the old mine said, right? He said, this can't be right. We're not supposed to be here this early, if I remember correctly. Now that you mention it, he did say that, didn't he? Yes, he did. You're not trying to tell me that he meant the army by that, are you? You don't know for sure. It would be that's what he meant. Which means that Sky Bandits have a mole in the army. Or a collaborator with leak information. Oh yeah. Olivier is... he's just such a gem. I really love it. He's probably one of my favorite. Along with Estelle. Estelle just because she is, you know, she's a cute character. That is all. It has pleased me greatly. That is enough. It has just fun. Have around. The shenanigans he gets up to sometimes are just very pleasing to read. And what you wanted to say? You share. Yep. Well, if that's the case, they'll never get caught. Which means we were the only ones that stood a chance of nabbing them. Now we're stuck in here. I wonder how your father would get around this little setback. My. Well, don't you all seem to be in a bit of a fix? Everyone's like, what the fuck? Huh? Did you say something, Joshua? No, I didn't say anything. Came from the cell next door. Almost sounds familiar. Oh, how could you say something so heartless? My lustrous voice should be recognizable to anyone. But this unfounded self-confidence and tone of absurd narcissism belong to... It's you, isn't it, Olivia? I love for the Japanese style sword. Aesthetically rather pleasing. Practically, I prefer my good old-fashioned longsword. I mean, then again, what can I say, you know? German at heart, we do like our... Actually, no, we don't like a weapon practical. That would be a fucking lie, because we like our weapons big and intimidating. You do remember my Bullshit-Skort. The fact that we'd meet again in a place like this. It seems that we're bound by destiny. Oh, yeah, you here. That is actually a good question still. I thought we took your proposal. And now you're locked up in a place like this. What the heck did you do? A Japanese word is good when made with European metal. That's always played by you. Olivia is just fucking awesome. Honestly, just looking at it, I always think that these swords are just a bit impractical. I mean, they're cool looking, but that is basically all. Sheer practicality, I do prefer my longsword every day of the week, but in the end what it comes down to is taste, because nobody is actually using swords anymore to, you know, do what they were meant to be used as, namely weapons, to murder each other. As long as you don't have such a specific purpose and it only go by looks, you can basically choose whatever you like, luckily enough. And then yes, if we go just by aesthetics, the Japanese katana variant is nice looking, I'll give them that much, they know how to make it look good. What the heck did you do is indeed a good question. Come on now. Let's not worry about all the little details, shall we? I have my reasons, which are deeper than the deepest ocean, and higher than the highest peak. I'm definitely not asking now. Sure, we just get tired while you talk to our ears off. What a coincidence still. I was just thinking the same thing. The reason my results are folded is because the metal was garbage. Truly good metal, they are serviceable. I'm sure they are, but then again, you know, serviceable for what purpose any longer? In the end, you will always lose against some idiot with a fucking pistol, so... When it comes down to only looks, it doesn't matter if the metal is actually garbage, but then again, you are actually right. If memory serves of that particular area, that yes. That whole folding stuff came along because people get a bit of a problem with their base materials, to put it mildly. Oh, there you have it. We don't really care to know. Not any longer. You talk so much, I'd probably be an old woman by the time you were done. Not ready for wrinkles yet. Come on now, let's not be like this. I'll fill you in on all the details of the tragic incident which befell me. Didn't you listen to me? I don't want to hear about it. It all began after we parted ways. I did some window shopping in the Bose market, and then moved on to the Ante Rose restaurant. You see, once I had eaten to my heart's content, I began to play the grand piano to then feed my artistic soul. Upon doing so, the restaurant manager was overcome by my skill. So I was asked to stay and work as the professional pianist for the restaurant. That's great and all, but I thought you were supposed to be a lutist. Musical genius is not limited to just one instrument. Anyway, back to my story. After negotiating a few of my own conditions, I accepted a job offer. Those conditions were, of course, food and wine for free every day instead of Mira. I don't know how to put it, but that's very you, Olivia. Yet, I'm not sure how that has anything to do with you getting thrown in jail. Oh well, and this is where the real sob story begins. That night, I had been enjoying a plate of assorted duck I had had the chef prepare. But the blood sauce which had been used was a little too overbearing for my palate. Consequently, I began to feel that normal red wine was not satisfying enough. The more you talk, the more I want to eat you. But go on, I'm curious, in spite of knowing better. Well, so I borrowed a bottle of wine which seemed good from the cellar. Something called Grand Chardonnay from the year 1183. Grand Chardonnay? The year 1183? It's a legendary vintage wine. It was auctioned off at the Royal City. Oh, you're well informed. I heard a rumor about it too, so of course I was interested in having a drink for myself. Auctioned off? How much are we talking about here? From what I heard, it went for somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 Mira. 500,000 indeed. For just one bottle? That's out of this world. And you didn't, did you? Maybe, yeah? Such a needless question. Of course I opened the bottle and had a sip. Its sweet smelling fragrance tickled my nostrils. Its luxurious mellow taste caressed my throat. And can you believe what else? A rose-tinted vignette of time and space existed within that very bottle. I don't think I can listen to this any longer. Yeah, my ears are bleeding from listening to such stupidity. I'm completely dumbfounded. The sad thing is that after taking a sip of such excellent wine, I began to feel the food was lacking. I was having the chef cook me up something else to match the wine. The restaurant manager returned. Since I'm no tasting fellow, I cordially invited him to join me for a drink. But for some odd reason, he got rather upset. In fact, he got so steaming and mad that his face looked like a ripe tomato. Before I could say another word, a group of soldiers came filing in, and, well, one thing led to another, and... asked apple cider instead. Wings garbage. Matter of taste, honestly. I can't say another word about this tragedy being dragged all the way here, without coming to tears. Let's all weep together to sympathize with my dilemma. Everybody else is like, yeah, sleep. Idiot. Pardon? But do my ears deceive me? I could have sworn I heard a s and a and even an assuredly misheard idiot coming from yourself. Are you listening? This is where the story really gets interesting. You see, several further trials awaited me after I was brought here. You know, are you listening? Wine can be tasty, a good one. But then again, if you're not willing to actually spend money to get a decent one, then yeah, you're gonna end up with garbage. Apple cider, pretty nice too. Then again, you know, nothing beats the most simplest of all good German, mind you, beer. There's just nothing better. It is simple, it is easy, and the good thing is it doesn't get you drunk. I mean, I'm definitely out of training, which means I do get drunk of it after a while, but simple, easy, and refreshing. Hey, you three, get up. Yeah, I'm tired. Can't drink anything that is bitter strong. That is then going to be a problem. Then most wine is probably going to be out of the window. Same for whiskey, vodka, gin. Pretty much, and all of that is then out of the window. It's kind of limiting. Technically speaking, most beers would be too, because they are technically bitter still. And it depends on how much you do not stand the bitterness. Sorry, I'm moving and it hurts just somewhat. Yeah, what's wrong? What? You're trying to tell us we are being interrogated this early in the morning. A little early even for me. No, just the opposite. You're being released. Huh? Honestly, after my just very recent encounter with alcohol, I am once again at the point where I'm like, well, shit, you should probably stay away from that stuff, and just like I usually do, drink it once every few months or so. Yeah, why all of a sudden? There's a reason for this. Yes, I'd like to consider myself that reason. Aha, saved by the bell. And a bit of bitterness or strength, there's enough sweetness. Bells. The problem is that most alcoholic beverages that are around tend to go taste-wise in the more bitter area. Sweet is only usually in cocktails and the like, basically where you mix in stuff that is a fruit, so you know, comes with natural sweetness, or by adding lots of sugary stuff. Can be nice too, if you're in the mood for it, but then again, I could really not drink that forever. I would get quite annoyed with the taste. Because I honestly, a bit of sweetness, okay, but overly much, nah. Kinda lost my sweet tooth somewhere along the way. Somewhat. Hey, Mabel. Well, it is an unusual place to be meeting you. Yes, I would assume that prison is an unusual place to meet the mayor of its town. Just saying. Really sorry about everything that's happened to you. But don't worry, your names have been cleared. I completely agree with everything, but this is a request coming from Mabel herself. Better remember to thank her. Only stuff I like is angry orchid. So you mean, maybe Mabel stood up on our behalf? No, that's not exactly it. Just explained your situation to General Morgan. Our situation? Yes. I have one question for the both of you. Are you really the children of Cassius Bright? Yes, that's right. Is this still Bright? And I'm his adopted son, Yeshua. I see. Now that you mention it, the girl does slightly resemble Lena. You knew my mother? Yes. I enjoyed your mother's cooking on several occasions when I visited your home in Roland. In fact, we even met once when you were just a baby. Oh, wait just a minute. A personal acquaintance of my dad's. I knew that he was in the military before, but... I don't know Cassius Bright, the bracer. The only Cassius I know is the one from the service. He was a rare strategist. Strategist? Dead? Just can't imagine what he saw in the Razor Guild. Which makes me angry just thinking about it. I see some personal motivation for your hate. You'll have to excuse me. I hate the Brazers because they took my bestest buddy away. It's basically a story then. But yes, sweet beverages. Yeah. I mean, honesty is something I'm very much proud myself on my coffee making these days. Something I enjoy. I do like to have one cup with a bit of vanilla added to it. But that's basically just a hint of it, you know? It's like a very slight aftertaste. I do remember that one time when I confused my coffee with somebody else's coffee and they had like 3 or 4 sugar cubes in there and I was like, oh, god damn it. That gave some nasty, very nasty. Oh boy, that poor. I always imagine some poor sucker has to clean up after such, you know, accidents. Yes, let's call it accidents. And let's just say it wasn't me. I apologize. If that person should ever see this at some point in the very, very unlikely case that they have an interest in this, sorry dude, or do that, I don't know. Try to clean up that. Lots of coffee spewed everywhere from my mouth in an explosion like you wouldn't believe it. Oh. Seems like your father was a brilliant officer in the military. I've heard from the general that he tried several times to get your father to change his mind about retiring. You know that. Somehow it feels hard to believe. However, if that's the case, the London's hatred for Brazers may stem from Cassius leaving them... leaving the army. From the vexation of being left by one of his most promising men. I get the same impression. It was a nightmare, yes. I was just completely taken by surprise, and as you can imagine, when you suddenly find your mouth full of a taste that you really, really don't like. And I took a huge shit because I was like, oh god, I need to get awake, and I was like, whoop! And that spewed all over the poor tablecloth and stuff. The tablecloth, seats, everything. It's quite, I must have had quite a bit of sheer volume in my mouth at this point. I mean, didn't know I could fit that much in there, but it looked horrible. And to be fair, I kinda excused myself to rinse my mouth because I kinda felt, let's just say some things then while I was spewing them out kinda went down the wrong way, and I felt like I needed to throw up at some point. That was not necessarily the fault of the taste itself, but more like that when things go wrong, they tend to go really, really, really wrong. Not the most fun. What you're saying is, lives are such a pain because of that. A dirty rat. Oh, come on, Esther, that is not a fair argument to be made. How about we return to Boozy now? The airliner being found, the situation has taken a new turn. There are a number of things I'd like to discuss with you. Oh, true. Is something the matter? I'm definitely ready to get out of here, but it feels like we're forgetting something. Now that you mention it, what could it be? Oh, how callous people can be at times. How could you forget about a companion who spent the night with you in a cold, hard cell? How lamentable, how pitiful. Fine, be that way. I shall wither away friendless and hungry, alone in this dark purgatory. He's just awesome. Yes, he's still here. Yeah, I completely forgot about him. I'm sorry to say this, but there's not much we can do for you. I see. The musician I heard about. The one who chucked that bottle of Grand Chardonnay without a second thought. Hey. Ha, indeed, that is I. Yet, my fair lass, I would be heartbroken if you took my intentions the wrong way. Well, you see, I perceived it as an advance payment for the exquisite services that I was about to render. Quite the interesting character. Alright, let's see what I can do to bargain with the general for your release. Really, truly, you would do such a kind service for a man such as myself. I think that might be asking a bit much. If the restaurant takes this to trial, there's going to be at least a lawsuit. Well, there's no need to worry about it. You see, the owner of the restaurant is none other than me. Dum dum dum. Huh? And that grand Chardonnay was the very one I bet on. That being the case, I'm fairly confident there won't be any other problems over the matter. And out of him and you hanging out. Yeah, that would kind of be interesting. Sadly, I'm a great many things, but not an artist, otherwise I would create such myself. I can't believe you were released. Like a stroke of bad luck. Haha, please don't lay on the compliments too thick. However, it pains my soul that I partook of such a fine wine without paying a single mirror. But I play the piano in the restaurant per our contract to remedy that. I think I'm going to have to pass on that. What happened, I think it would be a bit awkward having you back there. Me, for one, don't think he'd mind a bit. Yeah, he sure does seem to have some thick skin. Let's just think of this as an unfortunate incident for both of us. But I don't think I can just let things go like this. Let's see. It seems like you're investigating something at the moment, right? How about I lend my assistance in return for the wine? Huh? Well, it does sound interesting. Gotta ask you to join these bracers in their work. Could you ever? So, it's settled. Let our new working relationship bloom like a magnolia at the height of spring. Hold on a sec. What did we do to deserve this? Your general weakness aside, simply having an amateur like you around is honestly going to be a pain. Are you confident that you won't be a drag on our work? Or our sanity? Well. I'm somewhat confident in my marksmanship and magic, but of course, I'd be distressed if you tried to list my music genius in the same room. It's a kind of line that gets me really worried. But maybe we could use an extra hand. As long as we can't count on the army to help us out, I have the feeling that we'll be short on manpower. Alright then, we'll use you for what you're worth. However, we do happen to conclude that you're not worth your weight. Dumped from the party. You're going to be okay with it. Of course I don't mind. I'd never let you down, so please be reassured. Well, my expectations of you are pretty much at rock bottom anyway, so I know you won't let me down. I'm glad things are settled between you all. But before you go, there's something I need to tell you. Yes. Actually, the town did seem pretty noisy as we were headed here. What happened? Truth be told, last night there was a large-scale burglary in Bose's South Block. A weapon shop and orbital factory were targeted, as were a number of private residences. What? So, was this the work of the Sky Bandits? It's unknown at this time, but it seems highly probable. A unit of the Royal Army is currently conducting an investigation. I see. Yes, we'd better do an investigation of our own then. Yes, I'd like to formally request that you do just that. And send payment over to the guild for the work you've done so far. Please make use of the money for your current investigation expenses. Nice, we're getting money out of this. I have a feeling that the army is going to get in our way again. But I guess when it happens, it happens. Whether they get in our way or not, I don't think we should be forthcoming with the army about any information we come across. Because if there's really a spy in their midst, they'll just leak it to the Sky Bandits. No, I'm reluctant to say it, I also think it's for the best to keep quiet about the findings. Anyway, let's act with prudence. Alrighty, my bosom companions! Shall we head to the South Block? Look, buddy, who made you king of the show? Olivia, you are special. Very special indeed. Not completely unlikely though. I mean, I can absolutely imagine him being the kind of person who will get, your nerves with ease. But still, yeah, he would probably be a lot more happier standing behind Joshua. I think completely making the poor Joshua feel endangered, so to speak. Only his virginity though. Well then, let us make a nice little save game. Another one, and since I can feel myself getting ever more sad, and even sadder, and more than even sadder, while sitting here and feeling horrible, I shall bid you adieu, for as long as I can still do it in a good mood. Have a good one and all that, and I shall be back in the new week which is of course starting tomorrow, so it's not like you have to wait for that long for me to come back. Hopefully with a bit more, yeah, in game terms, let's just say health. That would probably be preferable. Apart from that, what else do we have? Not much actually, just, you know, a nice, easy thank you for dropping by. Ooh, Mr. Reen, the ultimate Emma fan apparently. It was nice to have somebody come along. As all the other ones who I cannot see the names of, but you know, you could potentially use the chat to remedy that. Huh, wink wink, heavy implication. But apart from that, yes. We shall... Oh, what this? I like the sound of that. Do be aware though, I kinda change around what I play at random, so you can always get a nice surprise coming your way sometimes. But yeah, usually around, well, for me in the evening, I'll be around, so yeah. If your schedule matches up, feel free to drop by, basically. That's a cool thing. Person and you have a choice. A simple, easy choice, which is nice. Yeah, but apart from that, before I sit here and ramble on for another hour or so, which, believe you me, I can and I will, given half a chance. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Before I continue rambling, once again, have a good one. And, well, yeah, if you have the free time, then go ahead. You have my absolute blessing. I'm always happy to have somebody come along. Keeps things, as they say, entertaining. Even more entertaining than just games. Which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. That in mind though, bye bye it is. Yeah, where's